job for another, they can easily transfer their pension benefits. You can't do that now. The amendments will also include allowing a parental pension, in which a pension can be provided to a parent or legal guardian and is funded by the child of the parent or guardian. This will help to provide the security in the golden years of many of our parents. Vesting after 5 years is another feature of the amendments. 5-year vesting means that after 5 years of membership in an approved superannuation fund, a member shall be entitled to the pension benefits based on the employer's contribution. There will be no more uncertainty as to whether or not the money is yours or not. The drafting instructions also include the concept of a pension payout product as an additional method of paying out pension benefits. Mr. Speaker, the Act will also be amended to permit concurrent membership in both superannuation fund and a retirement scheme or multiple retirement schemes as long as the total contributions do not exceed the limit as prescribed by the Income Tax Act. These are some of the amendments that the stakeholders have been calling for about 10 years now to foster development of the pension industry, the private pension industry in Jamaica. The overarching goal is to move the needle in the private pension industry from where it is to something greater. When we look across the world, we see countries with very high pension coverage rates. Just look at the Netherlands at 91%, Australia at 85%, the United Kingdom at 70%. Other countries are in the 40 to 50% range. We have much ground to cover. Different countries use different approaches to encourage pension savings. We've chosen a voluntary approach with tax incentives to encourage the growth of private pensions. Mr. Speaker, we know from experience of countries around the world that growing pension savings play a pivotal role in capital market development and have a positive effect on economic growth by increasing savings and thus the availability of long-term capital for investments. Research shows that with accumulating assets and the long-term nature of their liabilities, pension funds have incentives to invest more in illiquid and long-term assets that yield higher returns for their members, thus helping their members to stay ahead of inflation and have the prospects of a sustainable and decent pension in retirement, so that a pension that you thought adequate upon retirement will retain its adequacy 10 or even 15 years into retirement. As government, our biggest contribution is to maintain a low inflation environment for all Jamaicans so that businesses can engage in long-term planning and pension savings are not quickly eaten up by inflation. Our second biggest contribution is to ensure that at the national level, we systematically execute year after year in making Jamaica more climate resilient and actively and adequately plan for and develop the capacity and the fiscal space to respond quickly to natural disasters, the second largest risk to economic growth and our budget that we cannot avoid but can mitigate. Mr. Speaker, we want to be in a position to reconstruct better roads, bridges, drainage systems, and other infrastructure. If we do these two things well, Mr. Speaker, I believe prosperity will be ours to claim.
Hear, hear.
Our journey towards prosperity continues, Mr. Speaker. I thank you. God bless Jamaica. Land we love.
Solid.
Excellent.
Solid.
A ministerial presentation. ministerial presentation.
Madam, let's shake on it.
Order, please. And members in the gallery, please stay where you are. Mr. Samuda.
Mr. Speaker, we have been feasted to some great speeches here today. I ask you to adjourn this Honorable House
Order, please.
until May 22nd, as it is not. No, all right. May 16th, tomorrow, at 2 o'clock. No, all right, okay. We will meet tomorrow at 2 o'clock, Mr. Speaker. I ask you to adjourn this Honorable House until then.
Mr. Samuda, before I adjourn this House, I wish to comment on the presentation of Mrs. Williams and ask that university students studying economics be permitted to get a copy. This House stands adjourned until tomorrow at 2 p.m.